Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Motion Picture Meltdown. I'm your host, Steven the Roast Rosenberg, followed by my co-host, Mark the Shark Hinton.
Yay!
And Phil the Kill Collins could not be here today because he is
jacking off horses
in Florida.
Yeah,
in Florida.
He's jacking off Floridian horses. He and Joel.
Floridian.
Yes. He went with Joel to go jack off horses.
I love how it's like
professionally.
It's like a Star Wars planet. The Floridian base is under attack.
The Floridian system.
I mean, would it sound better if I said Floridians? That just sounds like a flower.
I like it as Floridians.
Yeah. I like Floridians too.
And then we got D Hart with us from Unitedcypher.
Jello.
Like when I was in high school, this guy told me that he knew this black woman who named her kids Orangelo and Lamangelo. I told him he was a liar.
Yeah, everybody has that same urban myth. Like, oh yeah, I know these people that name their kids this. No, you don't.
You just heard that.
You just heard that. Just like the same people like, yeah, I knew this person that used to have this, pet python, and they loved it so much that they would sleep with it, and then they woke up and the python would be laying the full length of their body, and they kept wondering why, so they took the python to the vet, and they said, oh, it's sizing you up to see if it could eat you. No, it's not. You're an idiot. I've heard like 10 people say that.
I've never heard the story.
Have you never heard that story?
No.
Dude, I've heard that story.
I've bet you one of them Louisianian stories.
No way. Somebody just told it to me at work the other day, and it's at least the third or fourth person in less than 10 years.
Wow.
Go ask Pete. I'm sure somebody's fucking gone in there. One of those crack-headed fucks that goes into Pets Galore has said that shit. Got this snake trying to eat my kids.
Okay, for the listeners, if you have a pet python, don't sleep with it. They're known for strangling things to death.
Especially babies. Mm-hmm. Or baby animals.
Or deer, or whatever.
Yeah. Or in the case of some anaconda, they'll eat a baby hippo and then it will kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but You
can find us on Twitter at MPN Podcast. You can find us on UnitedCypher.com, where you can stream our delicious episodes. You can
they're also really sexy.
Yep.
There are pictures and stuff.
You can download and subscribe to us for free, and there's nothing better than free.
On iTunes.
And
YouTube, and so Unitedcypher's YouTube channel.
Yep. As well as Facebook and 76th Street Network.
Yes. Subscribe, rate, and review.
Yes.
That's how they move up in the rankings.
Yeah, do all those things for us, and we will come to your house and beat the shit out of you.
And then after that, we will make you watch all of the movies we've ever
and we will
watched.
Get on your computer and rate and review us from your screen names. So
Steven the Roast Rosenberg has the most gigantic penis I've ever seen.
From Mark's mom.
He left a dent in my forehead with it.
So, Mark, what have you? Let's plug Five Finger Tees too, since they're awesome.
Oh yeah,
and they have awesome
we definitely
shirts.
have to do that. I was looking on there the other day. Like I had paid a lot of attention to all of their horror movie shirts, or their movie shirts in general, and there are a ton of awesome ones theirs. And then I started going to just the funny shirts and stuff like that, and they have offensive funny shirts, which everybody needs a shirt that will get you kicked out of a Toys R Us.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Yeah,
and they have them for $8.99.
Yeah,
so check them out. Anyway, Mark, have you been watching anything besides the two awful movies we're going to podcast today?
I definitely watched those movies, and
for once, you watched the podcast movies.
I always watch the podcast movies, except for when it was Battlefield Earth and Planet of the Apes. It's the only time I didn't do it. And I've also been watching Game of Thrones. Started that over because Amanda has not seen Game of Thrones. So I started trying to watch season 3, which just recently ended, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, well,
let's just start over.
Yeah, so she wanted to start over. She didn't seem to have much interest in it, but now she's kind of getting into it. So, I mean, there's lots of nudity and blood, guts, and Khal Drogo killing the shit out of stuff until he falls off a horse and dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Yeah. And other than that, I don't think I've really watched anything else.
Cool.
I think that's it. I finished watching Sopranos last week, too. That's it.
Cool. Turn of the Living podcast, some friends of ours, they suggest, upon suggestion of them, I watched Cell Count, which was directed by Todd Freeman.
Butthole mask.
Yeah, and they said that his the latex mask is very buttholey, and I will agree, it's very buttholey.
That is a butthole. It's not butthole-ish or buttholey. That's a butthole.
Yeah,
they cut a butthole out and they put it on a mask.
The movie was interesting. It wasn't as great as I thought they made it out to be. It was a little boring, but I can see why it was a little boring in preparation for a more spectacular second and third movie. There's kind of like this arachnid creature thing living inside these people, and you can kind of see it's like pulling its legs back inside the people and stuff. And
Ew.
It's
inside the butthole?
it's a little creepy. So, I will watch the other movies, but I watched that, and then of course I rewatched the new Evil Dead on the Blu-ray because I wanted to see all the delicious special effects, which are there's no CG special effects in the new Evil Dead, which is awesome, but it looks great on Blu-ray. That was one of the reasons I watched it, was just for the blood rain and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, raining blood, just straight Slayer in that scene.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Like, you said something about the trilogy, and it angered me. And I just want to spill this for a moment because it always pisses me off. I kind of hate that now. It's become so common for people in Hollywood or whatever, wherever the fuck they're making them at, just whatever movie, for people to come out and go, I want to make 3 movies, and I want them to all have a storyline that intersects, and I want it to make this great big long epic movie. Why not just make a fucking movie?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm kind of tired of having to go to the fucking theaters and see for the most part, I mean, even with the Batman movies, and I'm a huge Christopher Nolan Batman movie fan. You know that because it pisses you off.
I shit all over them.
Yeah, because you shit all over them except for The Dark Knight, but I love them.
I like Batman Begins too.
But you know what? The Dark Knight Rises, honestly, was not as good as The Dark Knight. I loved Bane, but I didn't like how they did him. I liked the character. I didn't like the fact that he had nothing to do with the character in the comics, other than his origins, and that was about it.
Well, I mean, we won't get into a Batman discussion. I'm sure we'll do a Batman episode at some point. Where I actually do want to do it, like in all the Batmans, like the year of the Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. But but I understand what you're saying, and I can definitely agree with that, especially with people like Ridley Scott, who been making giant budget movies, beautiful, fantastic Oscar-winning movies for 30 years.
Yeah. It doesn't have to do 73 sequels.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't need a sequel or a sequel to Prometheus.
Or a trilogy. Yeah.
However,
fact,
even
most
though
of the movies that he has that have sequels, he didn't do.
Right. However, when it's an up-and-coming director like Todd Freeman is, and he's only done 3 or 4 movies ever, and of course he said that this, when I listened to their interview, he said that this movie was kind of spawned from an idea that he had when his mother had cancer, and it was like basically like a cancer tumor that bursted and splattered cancer juice all over the inside of her, and she's in remission and all that stuff, it's completely gone now, but he said that's where the story came from, and he said it just built off of that, and so I can kind of see where young new directors will want to make big story.
Yeah, I can see that to a certain degree. I can see how trilogies do have a certain appeal, because it means that you go see a movie and then it's, oh great, cool, I get to go see another movie.
Right.
But honestly, I mean, we have that in television shows. Movies, I think, honestly should be separate from television shows, because I'm actually getting pissed off with what Marvel's doing with making television shows that are going to tie into their movies. You know, I don't like it, and the reason that I don't like it is because they're not going to have a budget like the movies. Not that it's going to be bad, but it's not going to have the same budget. They won't be able to pull in any of those actors from any of those movies, you know, except for showing them like on a screen on a security camera video that was found somewhere or something, and that kind of bothers me. And the same can be said with like what they were going to do with The Dark Tower when they were talking about turning that into a movie. Right. The only way they could have done it was the way they talked about. Honestly, because by the time they finished making 8 Dark Tower movies, everyone in the movie would be fucking dead.
Yeah, I think we're going to have Javier
Bardem playing, Roland.
I mean, I see that, but I can't say that. It's so hard for me to say no more sequels. You know, get away with sequels, because over the years, some of the best movies out of the trilogies or whatever legacies or whatever have been the sequels, like Terminator 2, Empire Strikes Back. In my opinion, Temple of Doom was my favorite Indiana Jones movie, The Dark Knight. That's in my opinion the best out of the three.
Well, see, but at the same time, it's just like that. Like you said that the first movie that Todd Freeman put out, the Cell Count, was that it was kind of boring. Batman Begins was kind of like that.
There's Star Wars: A New Hope.
There's no Batman for like 2/3 of that movie,
right?
And then there's Batman for the rest of it, and then the very end of the movie sets it up for the Dark Knight. Right. Why did they need to do that?
I think it made the second one that much more powerful.
Sometimes if you have a lot of setup to do, I can understand trying to go for multiple movies. But
yeah, and Terminator 2 came out of fucking nowhere because Terminator 1 pretty much has nothing to do with Terminator 2 as far as like...
Well, it's the same character.
It's the same character,
plot, basically.
It's the same... Well, it's not even really the same plot, except for the fact that...
Terminator 2 filled in all the plot holes from Terminator.
Right, but it was like, as far as like... Terminator 1 was pretty much a slasher flick, in my opinion. It might as well have been a slasher film. It was Arnold killing people and going after the main protagonist, who might as well have just been sorority girl number whatever in Sleepaway Camp or whatever whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying with that, although there isn't really any gore in it.
Right. No, I'm not talking about gore wise. I'm talking about story wise.
Story wise, I can.
The second one, you have this elaborate fucking storyline where you've got this other entity that's come in, and he's sent back from the future to protect her, and her son's there, and he's the future. I'm just saying it was a completely different storyline. I mean, it was almost like they're like, oh man, let's take this kind of boring, plain storyline from the first one, and let's elaborate the shit out of it. And we're going to put out a sequel that's a billion times better.
By the way, did you know the guy who plays John Connor in Terminator 3 was just recently arrested for like fucking meth?
No.
Yeah, I just saw it the other day.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it was meth or cocaine.
So as long as we're saying, but there are a lot of sequels out there that suck ass, like The Lost World, and in comparison.
Oh yeah, I mean, more
RoboCop 2.
More often than not. More often than not, the sequels are not as good as the first movie, and they're usually hardly ever better than the first movie.
Oh, The Matrix.
Yeah, that's another one.
Those sequels are horrible.
Yeah, there was no fucking... They set out to make a trilogy with those movies.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they did. They set out to make a trilogy with those movies.
It doesn't make any sense past the first one.
And because they just went, we have a bajillion-dollar budget, let's do computer-generated Dragon Ball Z fight scenes.
And then you have some of the ones that are arguably better, like the Indiana Jones movies and Alien and Aliens.
I think what you're dealing with there is movies that they were like one-off adventures.
Right.
Because those are just
Indiana Jones may technically be a trilogy, but the stories don't tie together.
Star Wars could have ended
one story.
at the very first Star Wars.
Well, that's true.
Movie could have ended there because they had a beginning, middle, and end.
Aliens
you need that.
Way.
You need that for the first movie.
Terminator's the same way, though.
Series of movies.
Well, there was no need for a sequel.
Yeah, you didn't
Terminator.
have to.
Right.
The sequels are bonus.
Right. Well, let's get on to one more thing. I want to go ahead and wish everybody a Happy America weekend.
America.
The fireworks are still fucking going on outside, and they will continue to do so until about mid-December.
Mm-hmm. The reason that they're still going on is that like the day after the 4th of July, all the fireworks stands put all their shit on sale where it's buy one firework, get 700 cartons free.
Yeah. And I want to go ahead and tell my announcement now to these guys to get their reactions in celebration of America Weekend. I did read that it has been confirmed that both Bill Pullman and Jeff Goldblum have confirmed for a sequel to Independence Day. Will Smith will not be in it. There's just no reaction.
All right, how about these movies?
Like, I'm just thinking...
Bill Pullman can't be in the movie because he can't be fucking president anymore because he's already passed his 2 terms. Fuck him. And you know what Will Smith did? He went, no, I've got to go make a Shamalama Ding Dong movie.
Well, what if they in this fiction they repealed the amendment?
Dictator Pullman?
Yeah. It's like, that would be a good Independence Day. It's like,
instead of aliens, they just have to fight a giant Bill Pullman.
After he basically saves the world, he's the president of America when and basically responsible for the salvation of the planet. He becomes
Planet.
king.
Yeah,
Like,
They name him God
I can
King.
totally see that because who's going to argue against Bill Pullman, who saved the world?
We have Jets and stuff, and Will Smith. But not for the sequel anymore.
Yeah. But why Jeff Goldblum? What's his character? Why does he got to be back in it?
Because that's what they did with The Lost World. They went, hey, people loved him in Jurassic Park. Let's make him the focal point of the movie. I mean, even though, yes, the book did it too, but, I mean, at least the book did it well.
Well, the thing about the book of that movie, and this is just kind of some knowledge out there, Michael Crichton really fucked up when he did Jurassic Park and the Lost World, because in the end of Jurassic Park, there's one page that says Ian Malcolm died in the helicopter ride from infection on the way back to the States. And I know this because I failed the fucking accelerated reader test that I took because it said which one of these characters fucking died in the book. And I was like, none of these fucking characters died. And then I clicked it and it was like, yes, and it showed the excerpt from, where it showed. I was like, motherfucker. And then he's somehow back as the main character in the second book, and they never go back and
They cloned him.
Yeah, they never go back and they say, oh yeah, by the way, he didn't die. But
It just picks right up.
Yeah, I was like, Crichton, I love your books, man, but what's going
That's
on
a
there?
really big oversight.
Maybe he's a vampire when
That's
he comes back in the second movie because he died and then he comes back for the second movie. He's a vampire.
Right. And then he turns into a fly.
Which does lead into what we should talk about, since we're about 20 minutes into our podcast. Yeah, I haven't said shit about the movies we're talking about.
Let's go ahead.
Because we're arguing. That's what we do. I don't want to talk about these movies. I want to argue.
That's all right. So we'll go ahead and talk about these movies. The first one, Subspecies, which was recommended by Mark.
You're welcome.
From 1991, directed by Ted Nicolau, written by fucking Charles Band, who does the Puppet Master movies and then did the Trancers movies.
Actually, if you look in the credits of the movies, it says based on an original idea by Charles Band.
Oh, of course.
So, because that means he was like sitting in a corner
It's
and
like,
goes,
what if we had
dude,
vampires
let's make a
fighting
vampire
each
movie.
Yeah, and I forgot that Charles Band created vampires.
Yeah.
Stars Angus Scgrimm for 3.5 minutes.
Yes.
Like,
The tall man from Phantasm.
I love how he's like listed as the main actor of
He's
this movie.
on the cover of the DVD. It says the guy who plays Radu. It's Anders Hove, which I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because it's a European name. And then Angus Scgrimm. And then Angus Scgrimm and his giant Jufro weird hair dies 4 seconds into the movie.
Yeah, he has like a fucking Phyllis Diller wig on.
Yeah, he does.
And of
Just
course,
Aquanet and everything.
Of course, Anders Hove was in all the Subspecies movies. There's 4 of them as Radu, and he was also in Critters 4. Yeah, awful. But, Mark, why don't you talk about the plot of this movie, because I hate it.
It's actually a really... You know what? I love this movie, and I'm going to explain why when I explain the plot.
Okay.
The plot of the movie is basically there are these 2 students from America who go over to Romania because they want to investigate the local folklore, which of course includes vampires. So they eventually kind of stumble onto people talking about vampires, and they stumble on this big castle, and of course the castle has vampires in it, and by vampires we mean it has Angus Scgrimm, his giant Jufro, and then he has 2 sons who are also vampires. Radu, who looks like a toilet. He's just disgusting with the giant Nosferatu
He's got, like,
fingers.
sausage, giant,
Yeah.
like, ballpark fingers.
As a kid, that creeped me out. I saw this movie when I was like 7 years old, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. Like when all the gore in this movie and the blood, because there's just blood in this movie, and it's pretty good for being as low budget as it is. The blood and the gore.
Yeah.
There are other parts that are not good, but I was watching it with my mom and her boyfriend at the time, and I was eating a chicken leg. And my mom's boyfriend turns and looks at me and goes, "How can you eat while watching this movie?" And I looked at it and was like, "Because it's fake." And just stared at him. I'm 7. And made him look like an ass. Because I'm not stupid.
Like when he cracks his fingers off and throws them on the
Yeah, I
floor.
love that part.
Well, how much
And
blood
then
came out of those fingers? Like, it's so
He's a
much
vampire,
blood.
you know.
So much blood.
It's like I love the finger trick. Hated the gate minions that they turned
were
into.
the gate
They were the
minions.
fucking gate minions.
That's what they
Yeah.
are.
I saw the gate 2 last
The
week.
Gate 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed.
Oh, dude, it's so bad.
Not good.
It's not good. The first Gate movies,
In
the
case you-
special effects are awesome.
love the
for it.
first one.
It's boring, but it's good. But the second one,
I've never seen
Poor
that.
as fuck. Welfare.
But yeah, Minions.
Little tiny
Claymation.
red demon things. And,
Yeah.
Oh, what about the green screening when it first shows them walking and you can tell their feet aren't even on the floor? It's so poor. And the company that puts this movie out was the same company that's put out shitty things like Ginger Dead Man, Killjoy, Puppet Master, all of the poor horror movies from the 90s. Evil Bong, yeah.
These little guys were actually originally intended to be guys in suits, and the director said, no, they're overacting. Huh. It's like, they would rather have these things.
And you said these were the subspecies.
Yeah, that's what the movie is. That's what they are.
That's what they refer to them on as the
IMDb, the subspecies. And the movie, remember, there are 4 of these movies.
Right.
They're not in another fucking one of the movies.
Have you seen all 4 of these movies? Oh.
Yeah.
No.
They don't get better.
And he clowns on me for talking about watching all the Children of Corn movies and shit.
That's because when I watched these, I liked them. I genuinely enjoyed them. And the reason that I like them is because it's a vampire movie that goes off of all of the old school European folklore. It's like the horse not jumping over the grave because there's this death festival that they're doing whenever these students are here. And like the horse won't jump over a grave. That means there's a vampire there.
Yeah.
So they have to dig it up, cut its head off, stake it, and shove garlic in its mouth. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You're in Romania. Nobody knows shit over there. And then, like how they have to be in coffins and all that. Like all that stuff. It's the old school folklore. That I liked that. As far as like the full execution of it, it's missing some stuff.
He looked awful. Radu's like makeup was fucking terrible.
I don't think it's that bad.
Oh man, his face, like, I hate it. I guess his giant forehead, like.
Yeah, but look at the picture of the guy that plays him. I think that actually just is his forehead.
There's no way that was his fucking forehead.
Look at his forehead.
He's got a big forehead, but no. Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah, you can definitely see some resemblance.
Yeah,
he looked like the fucking lead singer of Immortal in the movie, though.
Just black metal as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's going to be a little background of just Immortal going, yeah!
And then he got fucking...
Because that's what he sounded like, too, when he talked.
Welfare Johnny Depp in the movie.
Oh, goddamn him.
Yeah, I felt like...
Radu's brother, who's obviously way prettier, and the favorite.
Yeah.
Your father's favorite.
Yeah, but he looked like Corey Hart or something like that.
Yeah, bad.
Like wearing a
terrible
leather jacket.
You know who he
looked
looked like? The lead singer of Tears for Fears.
Oh, yeah, just a little less mullety.
Yeah, a little less mullet.
It's like it would have made more sense if he was referred to as a subspecies because he was supposed to be like hybrid, like half human, half.
Well,
it's
no,
like his mom is human.
No, Radu's mom wasn't human.
No, I'm talking about
Stefan. Yeah, his mom.
Stefan Urkel,
which is just the gayer way to say Steven's name.
Yeah. What about the part where like? They're asking. The girls are
talking to the villagers and stuff.
Yeah, they're investigating like about all the folklore and stuff like that.
Before you do that, Radu does what he does and kills the tall man from Phantasm because he wants the bloodstone, which is a stone filled with this.
It just looks like a pudding cup.
Yeah, it's a pudding cup.
Shot.
It really is. And the thing is that in every movie, it looks different.
Oh, really?
In every one of them, it looks totally different.
It's like I've never really thought about how important props are until I watch this movie because the settings are really good because they're actually in Romania, the first American movie shot there.
Yeah,
and the actors aren't horrible. I mean, except for maybe like Radu's over the top shit. But it's like everything looks like such bullshit. You know?
Oh yeah, all the other shit like the swords and everything are just terrible.
The fucking bloodstone, the thing that everybody's talking about, is really not even that important.
It looks like a ring pop with a pudding cup on it.
Yes,
and that's what it is because Radu wants it because it apparently makes him more powerful. Which in the second movie they explain that that's how he lives.
I was gonna say they didn't explain shit about the bloodstone.
In this, well, they really no, they did. They explained it. They said that. The reason that no more people in Romania get bitten by vampires is because the king of the vampires, which was Angus Scgrimm with his Phyllis Diller hair, went to Rome because he had heard a rumor of the bloodstone, which held all of the blood of the saints. And
he just suck on it.
He wanted to be a peaceful vampire, and he could just sit there and suck on his ring pop and not have to bite humans.
Yeah, because
that was it.
In this mythology, vampires had helped in some kind of battle. I don't remember exactly where it was or when it was, but
Hey, Rado, you want to go out and play tonight? I can't. I'm gonna go home and suck on my stone for a while.
Yeah, and it's funny because like they cut his head off at the end because obviously you don't need to talk about a whole lot with the plot because it's a vampire movie. There's not a whole lot, but I do like Radu is real rapey too.
Yeah,
God, he's rapey. Like when he bites that one chick and he's like grabbing tit with his giant creepy hand the whole time, just so gross.
Well, I want to talk about the main horror movie thing in here, like you said, Friday the 13th or whatever.
There's
like,
a death curse.
They go up to Pet Cemetery. They go up to this woman and they're like, oh, what about there's vampires here? But
You think there are still vampires here?
Vampires do not die. They live for many, many centuries.
And you believe they still sleep in the ruins?
Stay away from the ruins. Stay away. You might interfere with the way things are.
it's like creepy old lady that's been there her entire life tells you, don't go there. Never, ever, ever go there. Next scene, they're all walking through the ruins and fucking
napping next to the ruins, and then they're like, and it's funny that they're like, vampires are fucking bullshit, and then every time it gets dark, they're like, fuck, we gotta go back. If we gotta leave now, it's getting fucking dark. And then creepy Radu's up there pounding his pud.
It's not even dark outside, and he's like, oh, it's dark enough for me to come out. But like, when everybody in the town is like, well, don't go up there. There's vampires up there. No.
Yeah, and we don't mean gay vampires.
I'm gonna go cut myself trying to open the fucking door.
Yeah. Well, when she wasn't even like opening the door, it looked like she just shoved her arm in there and was just like wiggling her arm around. Like, hey, what's in this really dark cavern?
I'm gonna shove my arm in the keyhole.
And that door was really poor because then, like, right after that, they show Radu opening the door. Obviously, just styrofoam.
Oh, yeah.
It was real bad.
Well, no, like, the fact that this movie was made in 1991, this looks like a 1979 movie, like early 80s. Like, D. Hart was like, let's do these movies in chronological order. And then we were like, this one is 91.
It's like I didn't put it together.
Yeah.
It looks really bad, but if you watch full moon movies, that's what they do. They're like Troma, but they take it a little bit more seriously. just a little bit.
Dude, Charles
that
Mann.
little bit counts so much.
Charles Mann loves these movies.
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta. The thing is that even though these movies probably don't make millions and millions of dollars, the thing is, Full Moon Productions, if you're a horror movie fan, you've seen Full Moon Productions horror movies. There's so much market for B horror movies. Well, they can make 100 fucking Puppet Master movies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As much as I fucking hate to admit it, there are many, many people out there that put Puppet Master in their top 5 horror movies. And the same thing goes with Child's Play. I know Child's Play is not a Full Moon movie, but
fucking dolls
as
scare
fucking
people.
shitty as that movie is, there are millions of people out there that put Child's Play in their top 5 horror movies.
Yeah. And Puppet Master now, because I loved it as a kid. And I saw the second Puppet Master first, but when I saw the first one, it's real fucking boring now. I mean, I bought it, and you couldn't find it on DVD in America at the time. You had to order, if you wanted Puppet Master, you had to order all 10 Puppet Master movies in a box set, which cost over $100. And I was like, no, I don't need any of these movies. I just kind of want to watch the first Puppet Master. Yeah. So I order it from eBay, and I didn't pay fucking attention. It comes from fucking Australia. So it's regionally coded, and I get it, and I can't watch the goddamn thing. So then finally I figured out I could watch it on my Xbox, and it'll play on the Xbox. So I'll watch it on the Xbox. And it plays just fine. But it took like a month to get here. It was fucking ridiculous. Oh, and then you know what? 2 weeks after I bought Puppet Master on DVD, it was on fucking Netflix.
Good. Well, Mark, you like this movie a lot more than I do.
I do.
I'm not sure your stance on it.
I loved it as a kid, but
I thought it was pretty shitty.
It is pretty shitty. I mean, there's a couple things I wanted to mention, like it's like at the end where Prince Stefan is on his way to rescue one of the damsels in distress. He gets stopped by a fucking net. Net v vampire.
Well, at first I thought
dropped by the little lumpy clay dude.
Yes.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a silver net. Like I thought it was like silver line, but like chainmail. But it was just a normal net. It was just a normal net. Like I wanted to believe that that's what it was. I was like, oh, that's kind of clever. It's a silver net. No, it's not.
He was a really poor vampire. He was really bad at it.
Well, I think the worst thing about this entire movie was the shitty fucking choreographed sword fight at the end of the movie.
Everybody was ratty fighting.
Yeah. That fucking sword fight was poor. Like, it was like two idiots with claymores swinging at each other, like, clank.
And these are things that are supposed to be alive for hundreds of years. They grew up in that castle. That's where they lived.
Yeah.
When they actually use swords all the time.
Yeah.
They seem to have forgotten.
They've been out of practice. I mean,
Maybe
it's been
that's
hundreds
what
of
it
years
was.
since anybody needed to do a sword fight.
I haven't touched a sword since they invented the Walkman.
Yeah.
Well, that was only like 10 years before this movie.
But you know what? Watch the rest of them. And then there's the Vampire Journals as well, which is an offshoot of this. And in I think the third...
Where was the demand for this? Like...
There's a huge cult following for these movies and for Puppet Master.
I know Puppet Master.
These two movies, these two series of movies, Puppet Master and Subspecies, are the reason that Full Moon are still successful today.
Oh, and Ginger Dead Man.
No, not at all. That's not in the fucking least bit of fuck
True.
all of you. Yeah.
They made 2 or 3 sequels for that.
Yeah, they did 3. I just watched the third one like 6 or 7 months ago.
No.
It was like Ginger Dead Man, Disco
Saturday
Inferno.
Night Cleaver.
Yeah, Saturday Night Cleaver.
Yeah.
So bad. He sprays water hose acid on people.
Boiling?
Stupid.
Boiling?
No, it's not boiling. Just from a water hose. It's so bad. So, are we done with Subspecies now? Or
I think we
D-Hart
are.
has a notebook filled with fuck this movie.
Well,
Well,
no,
it's actually a notebook filled
I-
with fuck these movies.
Yeah, it's only one page.
It's only
For
one
both
page of fuck
movies.
this movie. Oh, okay. For both movies.
We'll
Okay.
go, We'll go ahead and move on to the better of the 2 movies for the night. Is 1987 Near Dark, directed by Catherine Bigelow, who actually directed the Oscar-winning movie The Hurt Locker, as well as Zero Dark 30 and Point Break.
Which this movie is with vampires.
Yeah.
That's Point Break without the bank robbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
this is before Point Blank.
Point Break.
Yeah.
Point Break.
Yes. So it's like she had to perfect it a little bit.
Exactly. Stars Adrian Pasdar as Caleb, and he is
Nathan Petrelli from
Petrelli from
Heroes.
Heroes.
That's what people will remember him as.
of course Lance Hendrickson, who was in Aliens and
All kinds of shitty movies.
He was in Screamers, The Hunting, for barely.
For just slightly longer than Angus Scgrimm was in Subspecies.
Right.
Lance Henriksen is in everything.
Yeah, he is.
Everything.
And I love him in everything.
I do too.
Yeah, I think
Except,
he's
no, you
great.
don't. Pumpkinhead.
Oh no, yeah.
You hate fucking Pumpkin. Randomly, Steven will send me text messages and go, Pumpkinhead's fucking awful.
It is.
Well, he's at least good in it. It's like
Yeah.
he's always
Well, yeah,
the
yeah.
same type of guy,
Well,
basically.
I think we talked about that. Was it a couple podcasts ago? We talked about how like the whole movie is just shot in blue and red tint.
It is. But it was done by a guy that's not a director. It was done by Stan Winston directed that movie, I think. So
I didn't know that.
he created the Predator and Pumpkinhead. Yeah, I think he directed Pumpkinhead, if I'm not mistaken. But Lance
He did
Henriksen
special
in
effects
it.
for Terminator.
It's also co-starring Lance Henriksen's braided rat tail.
Yeah, it's Jedi braid.
Yeah, it's Jedi braid. So it's not even a Jedi braid. The Jedi braid's on the side. This is straight up a New Kids on the Block braid. So just fucking rat tail.
Then you got Bill Paxton, not Bill Pullman.
Not Bill Pullman.
It's a bug hunt, man!
Yeah, he's
Game over!
from Aliens, and then his more notable roles would be from Twister and Predator 2.
He has been killed by all of the most famous sci-fi movie monsters. He was killed by the alien in Aliens. He was killed by the Terminator in the first Terminator movie. And he was killed by the Predator in Predator 2.
You're right.
Yeah.
An interesting tidbit.
Jeanette Goldstein plays Diamondback, and she is Vasquez from Aliens.
Aliens and Terminator 2.
Yep. Well, she wasn't Vasquez in Terminator.
Yeah, but she was. Yeah, but she played John Connor's foster mom.
Yeah, your foster parents are dead. How's Whoopi?
I think it's funny because like 3/4 of the cast of this movie are straight from fucking Aliens or Terminator.
And it's the year after Aliens.
Yeah, they were just
it's
bored,
the
I
next
guess.
year.
Well, no, it's like I read the trivia part of the post here, and it said that they wanted to do like a crossover with a lot of the cast, but one of the main guys turned it down.
A crossover, like
It's like, well, some of the cast, it's like
they just say, "Hey, why don't you guys come do this movie with us?"
I
bet it was not like a story.
No,
not a crossover. Yeah, that's the
because obviously after that he still did shit.
Michael
Biehn.
Oh, he's a fucking asshole anyway.
Yeah,
there's no way he's a nice guy in real life.
Oh no, he did Tombstone, which is probably the best fucking movie he ever did.
Yeah.
And he was in that Bereavement movie, that horror movie I watched not too long ago, and that was awesome. It was real slow, but god damn it was
he's
fucking
such
brutal.
a fuck, man.
He looks like the kind of guy that'll come over to your house, piss, drink your beer, and leave.
Yeah.
And then call you a fucking asshole for not fucking cleaning up after.
There's a couple of actors that out there that are like that that you see that are just... Well, we were talking about Famke Janssen. Like,
oh, yeah.
She's just a party pooper.
She just walks in the room and goes, oh, that cunt's here.
Yeah. Like, she comes to a party in Hollywood and everybody leaves.
And everybody does she's here with the drink in their hand and they turn and look, and then they turn away and they say something real shitty as they take their drink.
Yeah.
Like, stupid.
Whereas Lance Henriksen, I feel like, is the guy that shows up at the party and everybody's like, creepy guy's here.
Yeah, but then like 20 minutes later, he has all the best drugs.
Yeah, and he's just upside down beer bong.
Yeah, just sitting there, brings his own kids to the party. Fuck them, they can get fucked up too.
They had an interesting story in the trivia for this movie where Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen went to kill time, during off downtime.
Right.
They would drive around the desert in character in their costumes, and they got pulled over by a cop. And he was freaked out. So he just let him go rather than give him a ticket and have to fucking mess with them.
Kane Hodder did that on the set of one of the Friday the 13th movies.
Really?
Yeah, he was still in his Jason getup. It was like shooting had just ended, and he was on his way back to get out of costume. And as he was walking back, like there was no one else because they were filming in the woods, and he was walking back, and some guy came up to him and they were like, "Hey, are you from the set of the movie?" And he stayed in character and just stared at him. Just Kane Hodder's big 6'4" in his prime bodybuilding gigantic ass, looking down at you with a Jason mask, looking like a dead dude. So you're from the set of the movie, right? You're on the movie, right? And he just kept staring at him, and then the guy just left. And so later on,
he changed his pants.
Yeah, because he went and shit himself. And then later on, like the director of the movie's like, "Hey, keep an eye out for this guy from the state police that's supposed to be here." That was him. And Kane Hodder had scared the fucking dog shit out of him.
That's awesome. And then, strangely enough, fucking Tim Thomerson's in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Playing Lloyd Colton.
Yeah, he's really out of the usual typecast in this one. He's
well, he doesn't have very many lines. He's
just a concerned dad.
Yeah, because his son goes...
Who cures vampirism.
Yeah, he's not like Buzz...
Just like that.
He's not Buzz Bones or
no.
Jack Death.
or Marty McCarthy or whatever all his fucking name. Goddamn.
Like every movie we've done for the past month or so have had some sort of like 6 degrees of separation to the Charles Band.
I know. I hate it.
So, plot of the movie?
Plot of the movie is Caleb is trying to hook up with Jenny Wright's character, May, who just happens to be a vampire. He's making out with her. She bites him and turns him. He starts cooking in the sun.
I do like how they burn in the sun, though. I thought that was
very
awesome.
Cool, very cool. And he's running back home, and his father and little sister see him get abducted by Winnebago
full of vampires.
Which happens to be full
God
of
damn
vampires.
it, what an awesome band name. Winnebago full of vampires.
Yeah. And Lance Henriksen happens to be one of them. Bill Paxton happens to be one of them. And they kind of grab him, and then they all introduce themselves.
I'm Jesse Hooker. I believe you already met May.
Diamondback.
I'm your worst fucking nightmare. Severin.
And I'm Homer. That's Homer. Mispronounce it, and I wouldn't want to be you.
Well, first of all, D. Hart hates Bill Paxton so much.
Well, dude, he just fucking overacts so goddamn much.
He really does.
Oh, Aliens was the
he
worst.
Is way over the top.
Yeah.
Fucking everything.
Yeah. Aliens is just the worst. And
like you pray for aliens to kill him in that movie.
Oh, by the way, the grunting that you heard there was because some kid had grabbed Caleb's dick while introducing himself.
I didn't understand that part at all. Like,
just being a prick.
Yeah.
It's like, my name is Homer, and why the fuck would you spell it?
And how do you fucking mispronounce Homer?
Don't!
Right? Like,
Right. If Homer Simpson can spell Homer, anyone can.
yeah. So, basically, they're getting ready to kill him. May talks him out of it because she says he's been turned, and they basically give him 1 week to be able to kill for himself and become part of their group, or they're going to kill him. And he has a big problem with killing people, so they take him to this bar, and that's my favorite part of the movie, is at the bar, because
They slaughter the whole bar.
yeah, like the just the whole smartness. Like Bill Paxton sits down next to this fucking guy, and first of all, spills his drink, and then he tells the bartender to give him a new one,
Mm-hmm.
and then he tells him to pay the bartender, and then he grabs the guy's drink and drinks it and spits it in his face.
and then he shit talks the bartender the whole time. He's like, "Give us whatever toilet water, diluted water down whiskey shit. You drink it." Well, he just calls it nasty.
He's like
shit.
tough words for a bartender.
Yeah,
I hate those. They say shit like that in movies all the time. They're like, we've mentioned it a few times now and then, when they're like, "That's big words for someone." Well, Nick Fury, they did Nick Fury. He's like, "Big words for a one-eyed man," and it's like,
he's one-eyed because he's a bad motherfucker.
But either
got
way,
ripped out.
But what's small words for a one-eyed man? You know, or like
No.
big words for a dude with glasses. You know what I mean?
Because you could base how badass somebody off is by
What they
do for a living.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you're a bartender, you got to kind of have some tough skin.
Right.
You deal with fucks like Bill Paxton.
Who's
Who then murder the fuck out of you.
This actually might be my favorite Bill Paxton role, though. Like, he's not really
awesome,
he's not really that good, like, in general. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of memorable movies, in my opinion. Like, he's pretty good in Apollo 13, I remember, and I remember he was pretty decent in Twister, which that movie just, I don't know.
It's stupid.
Yeah, but Bill Paxton,
Oddly enough, doesn't react to fucking tornadoes in his goddamn face the way he reacts to fucking anything in any of his other movies.
Well, I mean, if I had the choice of shitting my pants because of a tornado or because of the fucking Predator, I'm going to shit my pants because of the Predator.
Yeah.
You can go in the basement to get away from a tornado.
Yeah,
You're not getting away from
he
the Predator.
doesn't do that in these movies.
Don't give a fuck. You know why? Because he fought a Predator.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess he
And an
he was
alien.
hardened by that.
By this time, he's like, fucking tornado, come get some.
He's like, I've been killed by everything.
Yeah, so he throws this fucking bearded dude against the pool table, beats the shit out of him, and then decides to suck on him a little bit and drinks some of his blood, and then says,
I hate them when they ain't been shaved.
because the dude's got a giant beard. That would be really aggravating, man.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
yeah.
I kind of...
Could you bite him in
Damn
the
it, there's
spot?
a face pube in my mouth.
Are there no hairless spots that have, huge quantities of blood behind them?
I love that scene whenever Diamondback grabs the waitress and just slits her throat, and Lance Henriksen just fills a cup.
Fills a cup. Yeah, that was awesome. Lance Henriksen had a big, nasty, awesome scar under his eye, too, in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of added to his character. Like, I kind of wanted... He was the only... He was really the only vampire character that I wanted to know backstory behind.
He was interesting.
Yeah,
well,
like-
he
He's
explained
from
it.
like Civil War.
Yeah, he said he fought
Yeah,
for
he
the
said
South.
he fought for the South, but I wanted to hear more because they don't really talk about. They don't talk. Diamondback might as well not even be there. Like, she's just a pair of tits that walks around and
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
in
she just
chaps.
hangs out with
Yeah.
And okay, something that bothered me about this movie is they're always traveling, right? It's like when the kid first tries to escape them, he's on a fucking bus, and you know what? There's always a fucker like that on the bus who's all sweaty and bent over.
I've
like
ridden a Greyhound before. I know it. There's people straight going through heroin withdrawal on that motherfucker.
And there's another scene where it's like Lance Henriksen and his chick are picking up some fucking random hitchhiker. It's like they stop. It's like, nah, I'll get the next one. Why are people approaching these guys at all? And,
I know. Well,
they're all sweaty and fucking greasy.
Well,
It's like vampire equals white trash in this
the
movie.
hitchhikers that they picked up, though. Well, that's what you said. It was still Billy Vampire.
Yeah, they are.
But
it's awesome, though. Because, I mean, if you compare the two movies, you got Subspecies, which is old school vampire, and this is like the, fuck it, Walmart vampire.
Well, this is a whole different take. I've never seen a movie like this. Like,
Yeah, they were awesome.
This is a whole different
It's
take
like
on
they
vampire.
wanted to go for like horror western.
Yeah. almost like horror. Oh yeah, like you
because
said,
at the time nobody was really
like horror
interested.
fugitive type thing. You know what I mean?
Nobody was really interested in the in just they wanted to make like straight western, but nobody was really interested at the time, so they made like a horror western.
Yeah. I like the shootout with the cops in the hotel was really awesome.
Yeah, that
Again,
was
they're
awesome.
just fucking white trash. They're all sleeping on the fucking floor. There's like 8 of them. In the
Yeah.
fucking room.
Aluminum foil over the fucking windows.
Well, I see that
shit.
like, now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But like they blow holes in the walls, and the fucking light holes are like
Oh yeah, when
on
Bill
fire.
Paxton
Yeah.
just catches one in the chest, and his chest just blows up like a giant cigar hit him.
Yeah, it was really fucking cool. But
I love Bill Paxton in that movie, though. And then another thing about this movie that I think is awesome is the fact that, like, when they catch on fire from the sunlight hitting them, they don't immediately go, "Oh, sunlight," and then they're dead.
no,
They burn.
It's like a sizzle.
They burn
and
slow,
it
and they cover
slowly
themselves with
burns.
blankets, put on big goggles to cover
Yeah.
their eyes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
yeah, that's pretty cool. And then they explode.
Yeah, fucking
After that.
explode.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest parts of the movie is when Homer is running down the street with plain sunlight on fire.
Just not giving a single shit.
Yeah, and then
doesn't
just-
care.
Just blows up.
And what about the truck scene? To me, it's like that makes the movie.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Bill Paxton in the semi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Give me back my fucking spur.
Well, and talking about that spur, one of the coolest fucking, I think, like special effect moments in the movie was when he was dancing on the bar and starts kicking the dude in the neck with the spur,
And slitting
and
his
like,
throat.
and you just see the slices on throat every time he kicks it. You just see like open up on his neck, and I was like, brutal.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that was a cool scene.
Yeah, and then but yeah, the truck scene was fucking. It kind of reminded me of the scene from Terminator 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
He was definitely terminating.
terminating.
I just love it because, like, even the cover of the movie is Bill Paxton all smushed by the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
they
he
know
just
what's the
climbs
fucking
up,
selling point.
and that's when they start showing how badass Bill Paxton is. Because he starts like ripping through the truck
the
and
engine.
ripping out parts
Yeah.
of the engine,
Yeah.
and just laughing at him because even when he blows up, he's just laughing the whole fucking time because he
Yes.
didn't give a shit.
That was fucking cool. And you kind of touched on it a minute ago, but apparently the main character's dad just has a cure for vampirism because he
And
can
just
do
Well,
knows
no,
blood
he just
trans-
has a regular blood transfusion.
Because you can just do that in your barn, in your garage, whatever the
He's a
fuck.
vet.
I don't give a shit.
He's a vet.
Yeah, he can do a fucking human blood transfusion in the middle of fucking bumfuck Oklahoma or wherever the hell
Blood
they
transfusion is really fucking easy, and plus, it's like
Yeah,
the
but
fact
that
that he's
means that
able
they
to do
had-
it, I completely buy. The fact that it cures vampirism, I don't buy at all.
Yeah, but you're thinking
Fuck
like
you,
a
no
total-
consequence at all.
Total blood transfusion, which means they'd have to suck that motherfucker dry of
Right.
all
Yeah.
vampire blood.
I mean, we're-
average amount of blood in a human body is like what 9-10 pints.
I think
Where
it's
you
like-
got that out?
I think
Where's
it's like
that
5
at?
pints.
Oh no, it's more than that.
Is it?
I think
yeah, it's like
I think
9
it's like
pints.
5. I don't know. Who gives a shit?
Either way, but we're assuming that it took a couple days.
Not only that, but now you have
I guess,
like
you know,
9
you-
pints of vampire blood.
What do you do with that? What do you do with it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like,
You could burn it. Or maybe if you boil it, it turns into regular blood again.
Maybe they'll
they fucking. Well, you know what they did? I'll tell you exactly what they
sterilize
did. They fucking took the 9 pints of vampire blood and they put it in a fucking box with a bunch of those peanuts. And they sent it to Keith Richards' house. and
Keith Richards just like, fuck yes.
Him and fucking Mick Jagger had a cocktail party.
Yeah.
And that's why they haven't died yet. And that's why they will continue to live
forever.
Yeah.
Is
You
this-
not even with that vampire
Is
blood.
this your blood, Mick? No fault it was your blood.
They
I'm gonna
just-
snort it.
They just hook the IV up to each other.
Yeah.
Transfuse the blood.
Is this-
they
is this
just
gay?
circulate the transfusion between each other.
Yeah. Is this gay? I don't
Yeah.
think it's gay.
So our hero and his girlfriend both get turned back to humans,
Yeah.
and but she's been a vampire for 4 years, and we've seen her kill like at
Is
least
that how
3
long?
people.
Was it 4 years?
Yeah.
She said.
We've seen her kill like 3 people.
Because when you're back
She's
to human,
still a
you're
fucking
you're-
murderer.
You're fucking forgiven of all vampire sins.
Yeah.
The Lord has
man.
forgiven thou of vampire sins.
So you got to think, if she kills only one person per night when she eats, she has killed 365 people
Times 4.
times 4 plus 1 extra for the leap year in there. So she's killed like 1,500 fucking people.
Yeah.
This bitch is insanely evil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
totally.
Fuck that!
I would
I'm not
say-
giving. I would give her a blood transfusion, then hit her in the face with a tack hammer.
Like so
You're not sleeping in my bed.
So she's going up to the pearly gates after she dies, and they're looking and they're like, "Let's see, all sins have been committed while thou was undead. Can we make an exception for this one?"
Okay, it's like following that line of logic. Could they have reversed like Lance Hendrickson,
Yeah.
who we know is well over 100 years old?
I don't see why not.
Like 150
Apparently fucking
at the
blood
time?
transfusion,
At
and then
least.
not only that, but like,
Would he turn
apparently-
into an old man, or will he
That's
continue
what I'm
his
saying.
life from that
That's
point?
what I'm saying. Like, does it omit any injury or aging?
It's a really bad plot hole. It really is. Like, it just
Yeah.
makes no sense. I mean, honestly, I would have been happier with this, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this movie. It really is a good vampire movie.
Good 80s vampire.
Yeah, and they could have just been fine with them being vampires. I think that would have been fucking fine. And then the vet, Tim Thomerson, or whatever, Tom Thomerson, fucking Trancers dude, that could have just said,
Jack
I'm a
Death.
vet, I have tons of cows.
There you go.
Just chug cow blood all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be more satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the blood transfusion.
Let's write an email to
And the
Catherine
thing
Bigelow
is,
and be
it's
like,
like-
Dear Kathleen Bigelow, reshoot the ending of this
The
movie.
thing is,
P.S. was your brother Bam Bam Bigelow?
It's your brother Bam Bam.
and the thing is like, that whole concept came out of fucking nowhere in this movie.
The transfusion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was like, Caleb's like, oh, I'm sick.
Yeah. In the
If
car.
by sick, I
you
mean
ever
I'm a
done
murderous
this?
vampire.
And he's like, oh, I don't know what you mean. And he sticks his hand out and it lights on fire or whatever. He's
So,
like,
oh, you're that kind of
oh,
sick.
yeah. I know how to fix that. Blood
But
transfusion.
no, it was the kid's idea. It's like,
Yeah. That's
because
what
he's
I'm
looking
saying.
around at like the fucking. It's like, you ever done this for a human?
Right.
It's like,
That's what I'm
fuck
saying. That
you.
concept came out of fucking nowhere.
It's like, you're not going to cure a fucking being undead with one of the most basic medical things
Yeah.
ever. No way.
The
Just
only-
There'd
not
be no
true.
vampires.
The only thing I've ever seen in like any comic or anything beat vampirism is Captain America. Like he powered his way, like mentally powered his way out of vampirism because he's immune to diseases and
Well, you would assume it's like a virus.
right, basically, and he starts to turn, but then he's just mentally. You know how you can sometimes
Yeah.
mentally break a fever if you think if you
It's like, I am not sick.
just-
I'm
sitting
not
there going-
sick, and then your fever just breaks, and you're like, fuck yeah, no more fever.
I don't want to be vampire
He
America.
just
Yeah.
took some vitamin C. He had a couple of days of sleep. And
Tall glass
he was
of
fine.
2% milk.
Right. Slept with the American flag,
Yeah.
and then just, there it is.
That's
cured.
That's this guy. This kid becomes Captain America.
Obviously not Captain.
No,
At
just
all.
Nathan Petrelli
Yeah, Nathan Petrelli.
in the shitty CBS or was it CBS Hero show or
Yeah.
Fox or whatever?
Oh,
or
guess what?
NBC.
Guess what?
NBC.
Guess what? Remaking it.
I know. I heard.
Did you hear about it? It's going to be a web series that's done on fucking Xbox Live through Microsoft.
Oh.
It's not going to have any of the original characters. They hope that they can make cameos.
Well, I think that's. You got anything else to say about this?
Nope, I was just looking through. I think we had
Oh, wait.
everything.
Definitely watch Near Dark.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it. Obviously good. If you're an old school vampire movie fan, Subspecies, you might enjoy it, but it is really, really poor in welfare.
Yeah, like in my opinion, if you're gonna watch Subspecies, I mean, yeah, the vampires are a little more proper, I guess, but go watch Interview with the Vampire or Bram Stoker's Dracula, which are both fucking just awesome.
Oh, and something else, I meant to mention this a minute ago. There's another movie that somebody tried to rip off in Near Dark. Obviously, it was called The Forsaken, and it was made like in very late 90s or very early 2000s, and it's
heard of
basically Near Dark. I mean, the
I've heard of
vampires are the same. They're like kind of redneck, driving around in Camaros and shit. Like, it's not memorable at all. I remember one part of the movie, and it's when the main vampire is like running upstairs in this house chasing a guy, and he's singing the lyrics to Enter Sandman by Metallica. And I was like, oh, cool. The guy's singing Metallica in this movie. And that's the only thing I remember about it, because it sucked that much dick.
I'll have to download it.
It's poor. You can go find it at buybacks for like $1.
It's like, I'm not sold on either of these movies, but if you're going to watch one, watch Near Dark.
Yeah.
You just hate Bill Paxton way too much.
With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I'm Steven the Roast Rosenberg with Mark. No, I thought you were Phoebe. Stop Phoebe.
Oh, it's your fault. You fucking did it.
We got Mark
Yep.
and D-Hart. We'll
See you next time. Fuck you.